Hey guys, so I got this friend named Andrew who's a bricklayer. Shout out to Andrew, you're a legend. One time we were walking in Seattle, we're walking past this really old building and we were just adoring its beauty. But then we came around the corner and we saw this one part of the wall that was kind of off and crooked. And Andrew was able to show me, because he is a bricklayer, where they had gone wrong. And I began thinking about the commonalities between bricklaying and building a life. Because the reality is all of us at one point are going to look back at the lives that we will have built. And we will either look back in awe and amazement, or maybe what we're going to look back at a kind of a crooked wall and think about the ways in which we could have changed what we were doing so that the structure at the end of it didn't look so crooked, right? And you know what the reality is you have the ability right now to actually correct the structure to ensure that what you're going to be left with is something beautiful and amazing, right? That is the hope that's in it. So today I want to take a look at the process that it takes to actually build a brick structure and show you how many things in common that process has with us building the life that we always dreamed of. Number one is site preparation. You can't build anything without the site actually being cleared of weeds, trees, and obstacles. And the reality is it's true for your life as well. Every single day, you and I ought to start with a blank slate. Letting go of the bitterness and anger, letting go of the unforgiveness, letting go of the past, the things, the obstacles that keep hindering us from building anything. It's really important that you let go of the weeds, the habits, the things that detract you from actually building anything. Number two, footings are the deep concrete structures that actually go below the ground. And these are really important because when earthquakes and tremors come along, if it hadn't been for the footings, well, the whole structure is going to fall over. The footings of your life are your values, the things that are core to you. These are many things that were given to you before the age of 7 years old. These are the things that were maybe spoken over you as a child or as a teenager. These are the deep things that no one else sees, that, well, only maybe you or your family, your spouse maybe knows. But those footings are so important. It's important that you know what those footings are. What are the deep resolves that are in your heart that keep you grounded? For me, that's my faith. That's my family. That when life gets tremorous, when life gets shaky, when there's nothing to stand on, it's the footings of your life, the things that are underground that keep you centered, that keep you going, that keep you ultimately in the game. Number three, you begin laying the first course. Now this one is absolutely so important because ultimately all of the other bricks are founded upon the first course. Now, the way that I want to talk about this is the morning routine. How you start every single day is so important because it sets a trajectory for the whole day. And so what is your morning routine? Do you have one? Do you get up? Is the first thing that you look at is your phone? Is the news? Is the radio? Maybe a better idea is to get up, to stretch, to take a moment to breathe in life. Maybe there's a book or a motivational podcast that you can tune into to align your thoughts and your intentions to make sure that the first level of bricks are level so that the rest of those bricks are as well. What's your morning routine? If you don't have one, get one. Number four, it's building the walls with the bricks. Some days I feel like we get a lot done. We feel like we were able to get a whole portion of the wall done. Other days, let's be real, we only get maybe even a brick done. We only get enough pebbles to maybe put together a brick. The reality is that some days we feel more accomplished than others. But it's so important that every single day we build something. Because you know what? Seconds turn into minutes, minutes turn into hours, hours turn into days, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and months turn into years. Every single day is a deposit, is an investment into the totality of your life. It's doing something every single day that pushes you a little further. So you're able to look back and say, you know what? I may not be at the place that I feel like I'm supposed to be, but I'm not where I was yesterday. And you know what? God is working on me. I'm a work in process. Number 5, it's cutting and shaping the bricks. You know, sometimes you get to places in the house or in the structure where a typical brick is not gonna work, right? You're gonna have to shave a piece off. You're gonna have to get creative. And this is where you and I have to be adaptive and innovative. Think about the last 3 years. You and I had to learn how to be adaptive and innovative. We had to, in times of crisis, think differently. Where traditional shaped bricks, they don't work anymore. And here's the beauty of it. This is where you and I can often find actually our creativity begin to bolster, because we begin to look at places of the structure where typical bricks won't work. And it's actually in those places where creativity is birthed. So when there is an interruption in your day, in your week, in your month, instead of looking at it like a problem, thinking about it as an opportunity may actually give you an opportunity for creativity, innovation, and adaptation. Now in your structure, you're also gonna have windows and archways. That is to say, there may be some gaps where you're gonna have to figure out where normally bricklaying will not work. You may have to get creative with an arch. I wanna talk about the gaps in our lives. All of us have blind spots. All of us have areas in our lives where we just don't have the capacity, the ability, or talent to cover those areas, right? That's where community comes in. Do you have a friend? Do you have a person to lean on, to give you advice, to give you the expertise where you personally don't have it? Community is so important. Friendships that are there for you to support you in areas where there's gaps is so important. The last part is the pointing and the finishing. This is the part which really matters because it will determine how the structure is viewed once it is completed. It reminds me of how we finish really, really matters. It's really how we are remembered. And the reality is that how we finish is determined by how we start, how we lead, and whether we keep going. And so, man, I want to encourage you. If you right now are feeling discouraged, I want to tell you that if you have breath in your lungs and a beating in your heart, the structure is not over. Get up. Maybe it's just putting together one brick today. Maybe it's 2. Maybe it's 3. Maybe it's a portion of a wall. No matter what you're able to do today, know that every single day is an investment into the largeness of what it will be one day called your life, and what you will be remembered for, and your imprint on the world. Let's take a step back and think about this for a moment, that every single one of us together participates in making the world what it is. And your bricklaying, your investment into the corporate aspect of the world, what all of us bring together as a body, is so important. So don't give up. We need you. We need you. All right, guys, I hope that blesses you, makes you think a little bit. Every day is an investment. I hope that you're laying bricks. Have a great day.